McKinney Motorsports is your #1 source for all your chassis needs. McKinney Motorsports is the leading chassis parts supplier and fabricator in nitro drag racing. From custom tanks and fittings, full chassis builds, body mounts, steering components, fasteners, tabs, clamps, composite parts, and much more. Our household name in the racing world guarantees added performance on the track. Join our list of proven winners that spans over 50 years of racing experience.
And welcome, folks. Chaos live here on Wednesday night. We're looking forward to the actual firing up of floppers and nitro-powered machines there at the Texas Motorplex in Ennis. But before we do that, David, there's still plenty to talk about in this off-season as we get ready for that wonderful moment.
Yeah, I get a kick out of the posts on all things chaos periodically. Meanwhile, in Oklahoma, meanwhile in Iowa, and everybody's talking about what everybody else has got going on and really wanting to get an update on who all is entered for all the different events. And we're kind of all sitting back looking at the calendar going, do we have to really wait till April before the Funny Car Chaos Classic with Nitro Chaos added to it? Man, it seems like forever away, but it's knocking on the door. It won't be long before we will all be headed to Ennis for what promises to be one more spectacular drag race. And we're going to get a chance to talk tonight to a couple of competitors that know their way down the racetrack. One's been in chaos before, and one has not. Going to be looking forward to his first time. And there's a whole lot of that going on in the world of racing, as we will talk to Kris Krabill and Tyler Hilton tonight. Of course, Tyler made his Nitro Chaos debut last year at Edgewater Sports Park, not that far from their hometown race shop, which they were gracious enough to invite folks over to for the pre-party last year. But a couple of outstanding racers who have got the championship cred, and they will be behind the butterflies as we go into Nitro Chaos competition at the fabled Texas Motorplex coming up April 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's going to be one more outstanding drag race. We'll be talking to them as they tune in here just in a little bit. We've got Kris on the schedule to come up first, and got a chance to take a look at some of the social media out on these guys. And of course, that's one of the things that makes it really, really handy, is you can find out a little bit about these folks, but there's nothing that takes the place of getting to talk to them in person, or as we're doing tonight with a live on Chaos Live. So it should be very revelatory tonight as we get the opportunity to talk to them. Lee, have you been keeping yourself busy? I imagine that you've got a lot of stuff going on with McKinney and no telling what all else.
Oh, certainly working up there at McKinney Corp, walking in, there's always something new, and I can find most of the time little items related to the chaos, maybe a fuel tank here, a sticker on a wing there. But the last time I was up there, there was a whole car that was certainly involved with the chaos. Chuck Lofton's got his machine up there, the Pontiac, not the Mustang, and there are major plans that Chuck has with McKinney Corp. We're going to be coming out with a video on that before long. But everyone out there, make sure if you need it for your flopper or nitro-powered machine, the official fab source of Chaos, McKinney Corp can certainly handle whatever you need for your ride. And beyond even the floppers and the nitro-powered vehicles, McKinney Corp does plenty in the drag racing world and beyond. So they can handle whatever you need fabricated. And for me, David, race season starts very soon. Be on the road tomorrow for an event where nitro will be burned.
So I'm guessing you're heading west?
West from where I am, yes. Here in Tennessee, I will be heading down to Bell Roads for the NHRA action there in Bayou Country.
Okay. Well, found out this morning that I've got another race on my schedule, going to be Saturday and Sunday. And so that'll be my first actual call of the season. I think that makes, I don't know, close to 2 dozen for the season. But, just really going to be a very busy end of February through March, a couple of races. And then we will get the Chaos season rocking and rolling in April with a couple of races on the schedule. And, hey, I don't know if that was knowledge or not, but I did not realize that the Lofton team had their car up at McKinney's for some work. But that sounds like, what was they say on the Bad News Bears? Sound like bad news for the funny car competitors who are going to line up against them.
I think that will ring true before long with what Mr. Lofton has as planned, because we all know that he had many struggles with that machine, in particular the Pontiac, last year, and he is certainly searching for it to be turned around where it is a competitive ride along with his Mustang. So 2 competitive hot rods out of the Lofton camp, I think, will be coming very soon.
Yeah, I saw the video clips, some of them from Pine Valley Raceway, where they had gone out to test. Austin and the team down there at Pine Valley, where we had our NITRO CHAOS finals last fall. They have had not the best of luck with Mother Nature so far this year, but they did have a good weekend, or they did have a few good days last week. And the Motivation Mach 1 was down there doing a little testing. They jokingly phrased it that they were testing their dry hops as they were unable to grab hold of the track on at least the run that was videoed. But yeah, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work taking place. The Mississippi Mafia guys last night were talking about they have got their cars together. Then they decided they needed to pull them back apart and do a little more work. And so they're going back together, talking actually about a third Mississippi flopper joining Funny Car Chaos in 2024. And they keep hinting that there may be one from just across the line, maybe in Southwest Tennessee, that is pondering joining us. But hey, the more the merrier. We will be looking forward to the big convoys of racers coming into Texas for that April event. It's, we're all chomping at the bit. But cannot wait to see what's going to happen down there.
For sure. Well, speaking of cannot wait, let's take the time transition and get our first guest of the evening on. David, we've got Kris Krabill in the green room. He's ready to go, and I know he's ready for a Chaos debut.
Hang in there. We'll be right back.
What can 360 Steel do for you? We make custom steel products made right here in Illinois. Fire pits of all kinds, knockdown styles to take along anywhere. Hold your drinks high with our drink stands while pouring horseshoes or bags. We have a complete line of military to firefighter signs, flags, hats, stickers, and more, along with many styles of decor. Welcome signs and custom clocks to a number of different monograms and signs. Personalized, custom options for your perfect sign. Bare steel or powder coated to last indoors and outdoors. 360steel.com. Spell it out. 360steel.com.
Kris Krabill, there he is on the screen joining us for Chaos Live. Glad to have you on, and welcome to Chaos Live, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me on tonight. I appreciate it, David.
Hey, I was noticing that, are you from Ventura, California?
I actually am, yeah. I grew up in Ventura, and yeah, great spot. Haven't been there in a while, but yeah, I love Ventura.
Well, that brings about the question: did you cruise Van Nuys Boulevard when you were a younger man?
No, I try to stay out of trouble, So I usually kept it on the strip. So no, I didn't do any of that.
Okay, yeah. Well, there's when I saw that, I've got a great friend from Ventura, Camarillo now, and may have built something that you lived in at some point in time. Hardy Boys Construction down there in Ventura, California. But I know there's millions of people in the SoCal area. Can't know everybody, but that's kind of my claim to knowing something about Ventura, California, as the we used to go down there, and we would stay a ways from Disneyland, which of course was one of the main reasons we would go out there. But we'd stay in Oxnard, and they had a construction company out there. So kind of gives me a little sense of where you grew up. So, hey, for those that are just tuning in and maybe are not familiar with Kris, I'm not sure how long you could have possibly been following drag racing and not know who Kris Krabill is, but he's the driver of the Bartone and Lieber Nostalgia Nitro Funny Car, and they are entered for several Chaos races. And of course, the first one is going to be the Funny Car Chaos Classic there at the Texas Motorplex coming up the first weekend in April. Man, I got to ask you, this will be your first experience with Chaos. What have you heard, and what brings you guys to Chaos?
You know, I've only heard actually really great things about it. We're super excited to join everyone out there, race some cars that we haven't raced in the past, and just heard nothing but great things. We're really looking forward to getting through the gates and you know, mixing it up with everyone.
So I was looking online. I found out that your first Nitro Funny Car ride was that Gary Turner's Peddler?
Yeah, absolutely. In 2005, we built the car. It was right when kind of the whole nostalgia era was really kicking off, and built a car. And then I started driving the first race of 2006.
Well, your name is interspersed all through the history of the Nitro Nostalgia Funny Car racing, as you've got more trophies, as many trophies as anybody, and more than most. And but I, you know, like so many people, very few people start out in a Nitro Funny Car, so that was probably not your first drag race.
No, actually, I started off in the sportsman ranks. I started off driving Super Comp when they were running like 150 miles per hour, and did a lot of bracket racing, division bracket racing, and even some national event stuff. So no, I did that for quite a while when I was younger, and then moved into the Nitro ranks from there with Gary Turner. And of course, I was a crew guy for Gary Turner's alcohol car for several years. So I traveled the national circuit with him, and we did quite well during that time. Yeah,
you did. And that's carried forward as you guys, you seem to have picked up that winning habit and taking it wherever you go. Now, this new team, well, it's not new, but you've been with them for a few years, and tell us about your car that you're bringing to Ennis.
Yeah, so it's a Nitro Nostalgia Funny Car, owned by Michael and Candace Bartone, tuned by Tony Lieber. It's really the best of the best. I mean, I literally say I've been driving these cars 20 years, and it's the happiest I've ever been in the racing. Michael and Candace put together just a phenomenal operation. And, it doesn't hurt for parts. Everything's top notch. I love them like family. They're great to be around. The great thing is driving for them. They've all driven, right? So Candace and Michael and Tony are longtime drivers. So, they get it. So there's really no pressure there for me to go out. And I just go out and do my thing. And we've had some really good success over the last couple of years.
Well, and we're looking forward to seeing how you fare. Will this be the first time to race at the Motorplex, or have you, through the years and the other cars that you've been with, either driving or crewing on, have you been to the Motorplex before?
Yeah, so we actually, I won in, I think it was 95 or 96 with Gary Turner's alcohol car with Bobby Taylor driving in Ennis, and but I've never driven there, so it's a first class place. I know it well. And I'm just really super looking forward to laying down the rubber on there.
Now, growing up in Southern California, you relocated to the Northwest. Was that before you got out of school, or after, or how? What's the timeline on that?
Yeah, I actually came up here. It was really weird. Within 24 hours, I had a position with my company at the time to move up here and step up there. And then Bucky Austin had asked me to drive his car So it was like the two coming together. I thought, hey, great opportunity. So I packed my stuff up and moved from Southern California up here to the Pacific Northwest.
So you're not in the same place as the race car. The car is shopped back east, right?
Yeah, correct. The car's in Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you come into the races, and I guess probably a lot of Zooms and phone calls and conversation with the team day by day, week by week.
Yeah, I mean, I talk with Michael and Candace all the time. I was just out in Florida with them at their house and just had a great time. Got some, relaxation in, and I speak with Tony quite a bit too as well. And I just enjoy, we're like one big family, and we really truly have a great team. And so I'm excited about this year. I think we're going to really have a lot of fun and have some success doing it.
Now, you have raced March meet numerous times, and of course, that's next on the radar, right?
So actually, that's the first race coming up. We're not gonna make that. Dallas is gonna be our first race with the Chaos, and we're gonna start from there. And we've kind of have a tentative schedule. We're planning on running the first 3 Chaos races and go from there.
Now, I haven't seen the entry list for everything. Are you guys running Nitro Chaos or Funny Car Chaos? Because with a Nitro Funny Car, you can run either.
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm going to plead ignorance on that one. I think I need to do a little bit more investigation. We're new to it, so I think the Funny Car Chaos is what we're going to plan to do. But wouldn't be surprised if we get into the Nitro Part 2 as well.
Well, with your particular combination, you certainly could be in both, and that could be as many races as you probably want to do. You guys have an interesting relationship, and a very cool one, with the Daryl Gwynn Quality of Life chapter of the Wanakani Fund to Cure Paralysis. And you guys do a lot of work to raise funds, raise awareness. And I was talking with Chris Graves, and we are planning on joining in on the fundraising to help that very worthy cause. Tell our viewers more about that from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if anybody's in drag racing, they know Daryl Gwynn and his story and what he's done since his accident, and the Chapter of Life Bonacani Fund and Miami Project. It's great causes. Michael and Candace have done so much with it too. Just recently, we gave a wheelchair to a kid that needed it, and just to see somebody and improve their life, it's the best. And so we're just so happy to be a part with Daryl and really just working to bring paralysis and the research and try to see what we can do in the future.
Back in the mid to late 80s, I was based over in Northeast Mississippi, and I got the chance to go to quite a few races back then. Of course, Daryl was really coming into his own as such an incredible driver with an awesome team. And so I was there for one year when he won at Atlanta, just in a high style. And then I was also there when he was unable to make it because the accident had taken place, and very well recall the somber tone, because so many people actually came to see him. One of the memories I have of Daryl, which comes right from Atlanta, was something that he would do. He would do the burnout in the Top Fuel dragster, and he would back up, and he would be doing this. And he's strapped in, you can't hardly move, but he would be waving at the crowd. And people were like, "What's he doing? He's waving at us." And so everybody started waving back, and he was a true showman and an incredible drag racer from a great racing family. And now the way they're giving back, it is just phenomenal. And a salute to you and to Chris Graves, and for all of us who are going to be joining in supporting that very worthwhile cause, because whenever paralysis comes, it's usually not it's always something that needs some people to step up and to help people. And we're going to be doing that. And I really can't wait to see all the successful results that we're going to have in 2024 from doing that.
Yeah, I mean, Daryl and the fund and everyone, I mean, they just completely change people's lives. And Daryl is just such a leader, and he's just magical. And so to be a part of that, an extension of that, I couldn't be more proud to represent everything that's involved and to do it in, such a nice operation and with Mike and Candace.
That's outstanding. We focus on drag racing because this is a drag racing show, but you're about a lot more than drag racing. You've got some leisure time that you take full advantage of. I've seen some posts of you at major league games, and I know you've got a lot of habits, or not habits, but pastimes. What do you do when you're not at the racetrack?
Well, I'm a big ice hockey fan, and also, I love to play in the beer league, so I do that quite a bit up here. I was racing a circle track car for a few years, and that was really fun in the Legends category. That was, so I love sports. Of course, I'm a dad, so I've got my 2 kids. I do a lot of with them too as well. So I'm pretty busy.
No doubt, 2 kids will very definitely keep you busy. Are they still in school, I guess?
They are, yeah. So I've got some young ones. Got a 7-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son.
Oh wow, you have a lot of great things to look forward to as that all takes place. Well, man, congratulations on all the accomplishments that you've already amassed. And if we haven't got the message to you, the rule number 1 at Chaos is to have fun, and I don't think that's anything that would be a foreign concept to you.
That's not going to be a problem for our race team. I mean, that's kind of our motto. I mean, of course, we're there to do everything we can to dominate and to win the race, but we sure have a lot of fun doing it. And it's looking forward to meeting everyone out there, seeing a lot of the cars that I've never been around, and seeing a lot of people and meeting a lot of people. And we're excited to get going here in April.
Well, we're very excited about welcoming you and the entire team to join us in all things Chaos. And growing up there in Southern California, all of us who didn't, we just read about it in the magazines, and we saw the things, the manufacturers meet and the 64 funny cars that, of course, you're up in the Northwest too, where a lot of that action took place as well. But when you get to the Motorplex for this Funny Car Chaos Classic, I think it'll probably bring up some good memories and create some very favorable impressions of how drag racing is going. And we're very excited to have you a part of it. Thank you for being with us here tonight.
Appreciate it very much. I enjoyed it, and thank you so much for having me on.
All right. Folks, that was Kris Krabill. He's going to be racing in the NITRO CHAOS category. I believe it is this year. They are pre-entered for several events, and you're going to get a chance to see that hot rod and meet Kris and all the team there, Tony Lieber and Michael and Candace Bartone, of course, as they have got a first-class operation, and they're going to be coming in to have a lot of fun, but they're also going to be coming in to see how they can take some of those one-of-a-kind Chaos trophies home with them to the shop. But it should be an epic weekend to get things kicked off. Hey, we've got another guest coming up, and we're going to get a chance to talk with Tyler Hilton coming up here just in a moment. So stay tuned after these words from our sponsors.
Taylor Motorsports Products is your first stop for quality safety equipment for your car or your driver. All of our safety equipment products are made in our facility in Albany, Oregon. From custom fit fire suits to racing seat belts, supercharger restraints, engine diapers, transmission blankets, and many other must-have items. Our racing history runs deep. We are racers building the finest safety equipment for racers. And we're a proud supporter of the Chaos.
Larice Motorsports Insurance offers drag racers the broadest insurance policies in the industry. Larice Motorsports Insurance was created by racers for racers. Larice insures race cars on and off the track, trailers and equipment. Larice even pays racers contingencies at the fling bracket races. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Larice Motorsports Insurance today.
And we're back with Chaos Live here on this Wednesday night. We are a little bit early, and I guess Tyler may not. Has Tyler made it yet?
Tyler actually just popped into the green room. We'll give him just a few moments, get ready, get situated, and transition to getting him on. He is certainly no stranger to the Chaos. You know, it's interesting. You always see these newcomers come into Chaos, and though they love drag racing, they know drag racing, like, okay, what am I getting myself into? But you could tell very early on that the Hiltons, with their front engine top fueler and also the other car that they brought along that's connected with the family, they're like, all right, this is a cool place to be. And they fit right in there at Edgewater Sports Park up there in Ohio, not far from their home. And they went all the way in the Great Expectations machine to the final round.
Yeah, that was that weekend where we had to be two places at one time, Lee.
Right.
And of course, you wound up being at Edgewater, and I wound up being elsewhere. Where were we? Kearney? We were someplace else. I think it was Kearney, but
You were in Odessa.
oh, in Odessa. Okay, yeah. I have slept more than once since then, and that means I'm probably not going to remember. But yeah, two places at one time. We showed that we could do it, that we could actually run two races on the same weekend. And we had a great race in Odessa, and you guys had a great one at Edgewater. And like you said, Tyler wound up in the A-field final round as that Great Expectations 3 car. It shined a pretty good light on their capabilities, and they wound up with a good go at that particular event.
They certainly did, and they kept that good go going because they went on to win the Heritage Series Top Fuel Championship in their hot rod, looking to defend that this year. And from what we understand already, 2 events that they're going to be rolling in for Nitro Chaos at the Texas Motorplex and back, defend the home turf, make an attempt there at Edgewater Sports Park as well. So we're looking forward to seeing them and the other hot rod. And Tyler's going to fill us in on all the details, but it's good to have individuals such as Kris Krabill and Tyler Hilton in with Chaos. And you look throughout Chaos, David, you know, yes, these are grassroots racers. Many of these are people who've had that dream to race funny cars. They never had that opportunity. I think of the Neals out of Mississippi, but there's many of them that they've been racing funny cars, or they've been racing Nitro for a very long time, and they've got many accolades to their credit.
Yeah, it is so much fun. We get to see everything from like Tyler, third generation, both sides of the family. They've been at it for a long, long time. And you've got folks that have never done it before, and they're getting their opportunity. And that's one of the magical things about this Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos series. More so the Funny Car Chaos series, because you don't often see people just run off and jump into Nitro. You do see it on occasion, but it's a pretty rare occasion. And but getting a chance to see people with decades of experience and sometimes months of experience, all mixing it up at the same place at the same time, maybe not necessarily racing each other, but getting the experience and having the incredible amounts of fun that comes from competing at a high level is very much what Chaos is all about.
That is right. You know, we were talking about at the start of the show, we've been getting these posts, meanwhile, in whatever state, and we've been getting posts of who we can expect to show up in competition. You know, one of those that we can expect on the Nitro Chaos side of the Motorplex, Sean Cash, he's going to be showing up with this beautiful altered burning nitro, dubbed the Rabble Rouser. He's all the way from Colorado. And we also have those that are throwing their hat in particular on the funny car chaos side, right here with Robert Cannonwisher with the Wild Goose Chase. I think it's a great name for a funny car, Wild Goose Chase alcohol burning funny car. And we'll share a few more of those later after speaking with Mr. Hilton. But this race keeps garnering more and more attention. Chris Graves and the team, they have been able to keep this race with all of the other great races that have been going on historically and have been formed recently to stay at the top of, yes, we need to go compete at that event. It is one of those races.
It is. And it's not just with the funny car chaos and the nitro chaos. We're seeing all kinds of cars joining things like the TDRA. The number of cars that are being put together to go TDRA racing, which will also be on the dance card there at the Funny Car Chaos Classic. Quite a few racers and new race teams, and some old race teams that kind of set it to the side for a little while, have decided to get it back together and get the old gang together and come back out to the races. And so for our fans who have been to a chaos race before, the Chaos Classic at the Motorplex before, yeah, you can expect another outstanding drag race. But if you've never been before, this is going to be one of those things that, you know, it may not have been on your bucket list, may not have been on your radar, but it's pretty well time to put it on that list and go ahead and make your plans to be there while you've still got time. One thing that's for sure, at the Motorplex, they have lots of places to sit. And they have a big pit area so that you can stroll down Funny Car Alley and check out all the action, all the cars, meet the people, collect all the hero cards, and, you know, get your T-shirts and ball caps and all that kind of stuff. And because it's going to be a great time, really, really great time. One of the ultimate events that takes place in the world of drag racing, regardless of organization or sanction.
For sure. Absolutely, David. It is an event that I have come to the point where I look forward to it each and every year since being at the first one at the Texas Motorplex. It was a spectacular event then. It's still a spectacular event. Cannot wait for this one with Nitro Chaos included. We all saw and experienced how great it was in the cornfield. Well, it's going to be spectacular there in Ennis, in Texas. It is going to shine brightly in the Lone Star State. Well, we got a star to talk to, Mr. Hilton, here on Chaos Live. He is queued up and ready to go. David, you ready for him?
Let's bring him on. Tyler Hilton, welcome to Chaos Live, sir. Great to see you.
Yep. How are we doing tonight?
Fantastic. We are getting more excited by the moment as we count it down until April, when we are going to kick things off at the Classic there at the Texas Motorplex. Hey, you are coming off one outstanding racing season in 2023, my friend. I'm not sure you could have expected a better racing season, taking that championship, for the second year in a row now.
Yep, that's right. Second year in a row. Yeah, it was 2023 was a pretty good year for us. We had 4 straight wins in a row, and just everything was working great.
Uh-oh. Who did we Okay, technical difficulties. If you can hear me, we'll see what we get worked through. And it looks like we lost Tyler. It looks like we might have lost David. Oh, David.
Hey.
Okay.
I saw things going to kind of spinning there, and I wasn't sure if we were being heard or not.
All right, yes. We lost Tyler, and you went into spinning wheel mode as well, and whatever else might have happened. So technical difficulties here on Chaos Live. All of these live shows, I can tell you, you can throw in some chaos. It routinely happens. After I have done all these live shows for Competition Plus, my own right here, internet. We're still not fully there yet.
Yeah, it's way better than it was once upon a time, and we just keep putting more and more and more strain on it, and we find the limits every now and then.
We certainly do. What's fascinating is we all know that when the internet first rolled out, you could not call at the same time you were on the web. And I got a phone call and internet goes out. So apparently there's still a connection, even though there's no way it's connected whatsoever in this day and time we're in.
Yeah, I noticed that happens whenever I like to turn on the YouTube and listen to some music. If the phone rings or if a text comes in or an email comes in, the volume drops for about 2 seconds.
Right. Like I'm listening to music. I'm watching racing. Matter of fact, I'm watching Funny Car Chaos or Nitro Chaos on the Funny Car Chaos or Nitro Chaos YouTube channel, which I can subscribe to and see content for free. All things chaos. Do not interrupt me by the phone call. Let me watch. Well, David, we've got Mr. Hilton queued up. He has switched gears quite literally, and we find him in another location.
Technical difficulties, sorry.
I don't think it had anything to do with where you were, but Lee was saying it happens all the time, and you've probably experienced that before.
Yeah.
Hey, we were talking about the family connection, and of course you have got one of the ultimate family connections in that. What are you, third generation from both your mom's and dad's side?
Yeah, from both sides. Yep.
That's pretty unusual, and but you've got so much heritage. There's an old song about this magic moment. Not everybody who's born into a situation like yours, with racing being front and center as often as it would be, decide to get into it. When was your magic moment, so to speak, that you decided, hey, this is for me?
I guess we decided to go racing with the front motor car in 2015 was when we really decided to go all in on it. And it took a few seasons, but finally we started to do pretty well with it. So,
well, you spent a lot of time being the little guy's favorite by running the Chevrolet derivative, and had quite a bit of success. And, of course, had legions of fans, because whether it's the Champion Speed Shop small block Chevy or you guys and some others with the big block Chevy, there's always those of us, myself included, that are pulling for the underdog, so to speak. But you guys made a decision to purchase the Bartone and Lieber dragster, if I'm not mistaken, and things really turned the corner in a hurry.
Yeah, we went all in on that car, and everything's just been great since. I mean, to be competitive in the Heritage Series, you got to run a Hemi, either a late model or an early model, and to run 550s and 560s. I mean, to really do it, you need to. I mean, it's tough. It's really tough racing in that class. But yeah, ever since we went all in on that, man, it's just been smooth sailing for the most part.
I remember years ago, back when Bruce Larson ran the Chevy Power in his USA 1 funny car, and of course Dickie Harrell also, but then changed to the Hemi, and Dickie Harrell also before his untimely crash changed from Chevy Power to Hemi Power, and they described the difference. You're a guy who has experienced both of those from behind the butterflies. And what's it like?
It's not really describable. I mean, first off, it's a lot easier to service. I mean, we would service a Chevy car and have it ready in an hour and 20 minutes. And, you know, we service just as hard on the Hemi car, and we're done in 45 minutes to an hour. So that was a good positive that came out of it. And just driving wise, the car just makes power in a different way, and it pulls all the way. I mean, it'll keep pulling till it runs out of racetrack. So it's just a whole different scenario, really.
Well, that matches up with the old quote from the magazine. Bruce Larson said, you know, with the Chevy, it kind of quit pulling there towards the end, but with the Hemi, it just kept on going, and it would just pull and pull and pull, and probably until it blew up pretty much, or it ran out of fuel. But well, anyway, you experienced chaos for the first time last year, and didn't have to go very far to experience that with the race at Edgewater, qualifying number 5 with a 373 and 214 miles an hour, going all the way to the final round. What drew you to chaos in the first place? And I see you've got 2 races on the schedule this year. What's bringing you back?
Well, we were just interested because of the variety, and it's just a good show. You know, we ran the one at Edgewater because it was 20 minutes from the house, and we got down there, and after the first day, it was like, man, this is really cool. So we decided this year we're going to run the full Heritage Series, the NHRA Series, and we're going to run at Texas at the Motorplex, and we're going to run at Edgewater again, and possibly another. We'll see how we do as far as points and everything goes. But right now, those are the 2 we have planned. And it's just a good show. I think the spectators really enjoy it. It's a good match, mix and match of different types of cars and different power, different models of car. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that is, it's an unusual scenario where you can line up next to a fuel altered or a funny car or any of a number of different varieties of cars in the NITRO CHAOS program. And people really like it, especially the fans really like it. Now, Tyler, I got to tell you, I've been looking at the schedule, and there's certainly several more NITRO CHAOS races that would fit if and you guys come out with those 2 races and find yourself in the thick of the points chase. Don't worry, you will certainly be welcome to plug into any of those additional races should you choose to.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan at the moment. I mean, we're committed to the Heritage Series as well, but we're going to see how we do. And, you know, I think a good, solid, low 370, high 360 kind of car that's consistent can go pretty far in the chaos deal. So that's kind of our plan, and we're sticking to it.
We talked to your dad on Chaos Live last year before the Edgewater event. And of course, you know, he is very clear on what you guys like to do, and you reflect the same thing. When you guys, I mean, you are serious about what you choose to race, and you guys are committed to the Heritage Series, and you know you are all in on that, and so we're very excited to see you continuing to have success over there in the Heritage Series, and you know, also come out and have a little fun with us. Hey, we wanted to ask you, the Dennis the Menace Mitchell car is somewhat affiliated with you guys, and I'm not sure exactly how that is, but I know that they are entered for several NITRO CHAOS races in 2024 as well. Tell us a little bit about your program there.
Well, I'm the driver. So first off, I'm the driver. No, we've helped Dennis and Cliff a lot, gone back and forth. They're just great guys. The car has a ton of potential. Jake Sanders tunes it. It's a neat car. It has a ton of potential. It's getting front half right now. So it's going to show its potential sooner rather than later. So yeah, I'm the driver of it. So we'll see. We'll balance it and see what we events we can run that at and what we can run our car at. So it's shaping up to be a pretty busy summer.
Okay, so you're going to be driving the Dennis the Menace car, at the races, you're not driving yours.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. That's that clears that up quite a bit. Hey, so many of us have known the name Lee and Hilton, and we've read about it in the magazines, and we just look at that and we kind of think of it as drag racing royalty. And you grew up with them. That's mom and dad and your grandparents. And what was that like?
Oh, growing up, yeah. I always was really interested in the history of it. I'd look through the photo albums and all the ephemera and stuff like that, and that's what really got me interested in it. So that was a big part of it. That's a big part of what it got us back involved in racing. So, and having both sides of the family involved, you got photo albums and stuff from both sides. So it was pretty cool to be able to grow up looking at that stuff, and now to be able to race again, it's pretty cool.
Well, I can imagine. Now, as a kid, was that a period that you guys were kind of out of it, or did you actually grow up during some of that time with your parents and grandparents racing?
No, we were out of it pretty much. I mean, it was kind of done. So, like I said, around 2015, we decided to go racing again. And a lot of that had to do with my dad's brother, my Uncle Mike, because he got us involved with like the Cackle Fest stuff. And that's kind of what preluded to starting racing again, was through him with the Cackle cars. So that's where that kind of started.
Tell you that, they say blood is thicker than water, and nitro is pretty thick too. And whenever you get it in your veins and you get the chance to be around it just a little bit longer, it can pull you in, or it can pull you back in a hurry. And we're very excited that it has brought your family back into the world of racing. And when you guys decided to come in, it took a little bit for you to really get your legs and start winning those championships. But man, you guys are showing the way. It's really exciting to see.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
We say it all the time. There's only two kinds of people in the world: those that love Nitro Chaos and those that have never been. And of course, you're one that's been, and your testimony there earlier about, this is pretty cool, and it's pretty cool and pretty fun. That makes me feel good about what we've got going on. And now, racing there, kind of at the home track. I mean, it is not very far from your place to Edgewater, and so a lot of folks I'm sure a lot of local folks are going to be coming out to see you, as well as folks coming from all over the place to see you there. And we very much look forward to that. But I got to tell you, what are you thinking about this Ennis race with you guys bringing the AA Fuel Dragster down to run in that?
Oh man, we're excited. Yeah, I've never been to the Motorplex, and I've always wanted to go. And we're bringing two cars. My Uncle Mike, he has a second car that we run, and it's a total heritage legal car. He's coming too. So we're going to have two cars down there racing. So we're very excited. Very excited.
So your Uncle Mike that kind of got you guys back involved with the Cackle car, he's driving the second car out of your stable?
Yep, correct. He got his license done this past summer, and he actually runnered up to us at the Tulsa Heritage Race, which was pretty neat. He went all the way to the final round. So he's fallen into it pretty well. Well,
it sounds like he's found his way pretty quickly. Well, that's something that doesn't happen an awful lot is a pair of family members in a final round and in AA Fuel Dragsters. Man, that's got to be as cool gets.
Yeah, it was a hell of a final too. He had me for a while. we missed on the tune-up a little bit. We were behind, but we ended up pulling out the win. But yeah, it was pretty cool to have him in the other lane. It was really cool.
No doubt. I got a chance to announce that race in 2017, and what a great race and a great place up there at Tulsa. So glad you got you've experienced some success there, and the family had great success there. Hey, man, we are really looking forward to having you guys at the Texas Motorplex for your first time down the racetrack, and I guess it'll be Mike's first time down the racetrack when he gets there.
Yep, it'll be both of our first times there, so it should be pretty interesting. We're excited, very excited.
Man, I tell you what, that makes you fit right in with all the rest of us, because we're just chomping at the bit. Cannot wait to get down there for it. And this whole season is just shaping up to be outstanding. Well, anyway, man, we want to thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to be with us here on Chaos Live tonight. We'll be talking more about it, and I know you guys have got a lot to do. I guess you're getting ready for a long trip west, aren't you?
Yeah, we leave Sunday to go to the March meet, so that's going to be our first race of the year, and the only race in the series we've not won yet. So it's kind of our plan to go out there and take it very, very seriously, try to win that race, and still have fun, but take it very seriously and try to win.
You know, that's one of those races that you hear races, Winter Nationals, Indy, March meet. If you when you start hearing about races from, I'm older than you are, but back when I was a kid, March meet was up there with the biggest, baddest races of them all. So to go out there and win that one, we have some racers in Chaos. Lyle Greenberg from Albuquerque went out there and took his funny car to a win in one of their classes out there. And man, it is just about, not quite, but it's just about like World Championship trophy. It's just an amazing thing. And, we wish you the very best as you and the team go out there with that bad to the bone hot rod and square off with the best at the March meet.
Yeah, thank you. We're really looking forward to it.
All right. And Tyler, thanks again for being with us. We're going to see him and a bunch of other great racers coming your way at the Texas Motorplex as we will start our 2024 season with a bang, the double feature, if you will, Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos from the Texas Motorplex at Ennis, Texas, April 4th, 5th, and 6th, with a testing day available on the 3rd. Yeah, it's going to be wall-to-wall great drag racing. And as you just heard from Tyler, they're bringing the second dragster in the stable. His Uncle Mike is going to be running with the Hilton family there. So 2 cars entered in Nitro Chaos action. The Dennis the Menace Mitchell car is also going to be running. Tyler will be driving that when he's not driving his own. And of course, very shortly, Kris has already told you this, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you anyway. The entries list will be released in just a matter of days. We're thinking there's several people that he'd like to get on the list if they haven't already put their entry in. But once we see that list, man, you think we're excited now? Wait till you see the list and see all the people that are going to be there for you and me to see at the Funny Car Chaos Classic. Hey, we're going to come back for one more segment to close out the show, as we've had a couple of great interviews tonight with these Nitro pilots. And so hang in there after. We'll be right back to close down the show right after this from our sponsors.
If you can race it, chances are we make a piston or connecting rod for it. Oh, we have about 4,000 to 5,000 different part numbers on the shelf for connecting rods and pistons. So about half of what we sell comes right off the shelf, and the other half is custom-made parts. I am a firm believer in distribution and everybody getting their cut, doing their job, and getting rewarded for it. So we'll see how that goes in the future.
All right, David, man, fine job on the interviews. Looking forward to having all of these drivers and teams involved there at the Texas Motorplex and beyond in Chaos. Chaos Nation continues to grow, continues to move forward, continues to be, I feel, leading edge in drag racing. There's a lot of talk about revolutionary drag races here recently. Well, there's been actual revolutionary drag races with Chris Graves and Tara Graves and what they've been able to put on with Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos. It is spectacular to see where the brand is going.
Yeah, it is. You know, I'm counting. I think this is going to be the 10th year that I've been announcing Chris Graves produced events. We started before there was a Funny Car Chaos, and man, just to see where it's going, and the momentum continuing to pick up, and the excitement level, it doesn't seem to drop. It just seems to amp up a little bit more, and that is a testament to the fact that people are really enjoying themselves. You know, is it great racing? Is it hard-nosed racing at times? Yeah, it is. But rule number one is to have fun. And I think that perfect blend of competition and having a great time, which is kind of why we go to the racetrack in the first place, is to have an enjoyable time with people that we have affection for. And man, we're doing that. We're putting it on each and every time that we go to the racetrack. And hopefully you get a flavor for that when Lee and I bring Chaos Live to all of you out there in Chaos Nation. It really means a lot to us that you support what we do, and maybe that we support what you do.
Well, speaking of having fun, to have fun, sometimes you got to put a lot of hard work in. A lot of hard work has come from the Baloo camp. They were made the first members of Chaos Hall of Fame. They're putting a lot of elbow grease in right now. The beautiful Baloo Thunder Machine has been sanded down, and they're going to be ready to shoot primer and color. I think I saw another photo from Mr. Baloo of some sour apple green going to be shot on this machine.
I saw that too, and I'm like, what? That's bound to be, I don't know. I'm not sure what to think. I just know that I trust them completely. The work that they did on that Camaro after the Nova always was a good looking car. And but when they came out with the Camaro and all that paint work that they did, simply phenomenal work. So I trust them. Whenever the Baloo Thunder Camaro comes out and we finally get to see the actual photos of what it's going to look like, I'm expecting something incredible.
I am as well. It is going to be spectacular and certainly look good doing dry hops. Some big news dropped out of the bucket that the Bone Bucket is going to be making a return soon. Mitch King has got that back from Kinsley Race Cars, and we should expect to see it at the track very, very soon. That is a world-renowned altered and bad hot rod that we know will be a competitive machine in Nitro Chaos.
Well, Mitch has run a couple of different funny cars and his top fueler in Nitro Chaos competition. And of course, with the motor has to be in the front rule for 2024, just the perfect opportunity to bring the Bone Bucket out. They did some great work on it there at Kevin Kinsley's shop, bringing it up to spec and having it ready for a full season. With I'm going to imagine the twin mag big pump. It's going to be one more show-stopping machine. That Bone Bucket all the way out of Muldoon, Texas, way down in the middle of nowhere in Southeast Texas.
Oh, David, the last photo I've got is a group that certainly knows how to win, and they certainly know how to put a lot of hard work into their operation. You're looking at the Williams Brothers Racing operation. They have on the table a new chassis being built. They said at the banquet that they're not going to have this new chassis ready to go for 2024, but they will be looking at testing it toward the end of the year and be ready to go for 2025. I think that speaks volumes to actually how serious the racing is in Chaos. You've got a group like the Williams Brothers Racing Camp. Here they are. They're preparing not just for this year, but into 2025 as the 2022 champions of Funny Car Chaos.
Well, it's the conversation goes around often about how competitive it is, and people wanting to improve their performance, just a little bit. Well, maybe you should improve it just more than a little bit, because your competitor is definitely going to be working to make some improvements to make their car go quicker and faster. So, it's a moving target. Being able to qualify wherever you choose, whether you're going all out for the A field or you want to hold a little back or just run on your budget and qualify for the B field or the C field. And of course, we're probably expecting maybe a D field at least at the Motorplex, and there's several events where that D field comes into play because of so many entries. But it's, like I said, it's a moving target, and it seems to be a quicker moving target as the days go by, which is fun for all of us as fans and as fans of the sport to see as the racers continue to up their game, and they just bring it and bring a little more.
That they certainly do. We're going to have a great year in 2024 for Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos. It's amazing to say, but it seems that it is true. The best yet. It just keeps getting better.
I know, man. That first race, Chris Graves talks about it all the time. He just throw the invitation out and see who comes. Well, a bunch came, and it started something terrific. That second year, no points, just 4 races, but the buzz, it just amped up and amped up and amped up, and it has continued to be that way. And we've got so many races on our schedule this year. I'm not sure we ever envisioned that it could become this large. Chris probably did, but I don't know. I've heard him talk, and I don't think he actually did. But now that we're here to continue to expand to the point that we're coast to coast in 2024, and we've been we've been pretty close to the northern border, and we've been as far south as Baton Rouge. And so coast to coast, border to border, Funny Car Chaos Nation is the USA. And we are coming to bring a great show someplace near you, whether you got a race car or whether you just want to go see some race cars. Check out the schedule and be there. Be there for some great action.
Absolutely correct. I was speaking with Chris over the phone earlier this week, David, and actually I was stuck on Interstate 65 leaving McKinney and traveled about a mile in an hour because of the icy conditions and people not knowing how to drive during a winter event in Indiana, of all places. Imagine that. But
you would think they would know.
You'd think they would know, but having a conversation with him as I was barely rolling, like, man, look, once you hit Bakersfield, you have got one of the few drag racing promotions that is coast to coast. I mean, we're talking about the NHRA and then No Prep Kings and then Chaos. That's it. No other drag racing promotions go coast to coast. They might be great drag racing promotions, but they're locked into the east or the central part of the country or the west part of the country. Chaos, coast to coast.
Man, that is so wild. And one of my themes that I don't intend it to be a theme, it's just where I am, is I'm seeing things that I used to read about in the magazines in the 60s and 70s, and mostly the 70s, because I think it was like 1970 when I first actually saw my first funny car, so it couldn't have been the 60s, but I did see some old magazines. But I reflect back on those photos and, getting a chance to meet people who were there, and sometimes to have them show up at our events and go, this is what it was like back then. I never imagined that there would be a way to experience something so magical as the Orange County International Raceway Manufacturers Meet. But when we rolled into Ennis that first time for the Classic, 68 funny cars, and some of them big show, and a whole bunch of every other kind of funny car under the sun, it was truly magical, and it doesn't dissipate. I think I'm going to be as completely floored with a sense of wonder in April of 2024 as I was at the first one 3 years ago. And that's one of the things that I love. People, some people don't get it. They go, "You sure spend a lot of time at that drag racing thing." Well, yeah, I do. And I absolutely love it. And there's a lot of folks like me, that do love it. And thank goodness we have a place to get together and talk about it and get excited about it and just feel the wonder, feel the majesty of what these racing teams do. It's incredible.
It is just that, incredible. Well, it's been an incredible show, David. Been good to be on with you. Anything else here on Chaos Live?
No, I got to tell you, I appreciate all the teams that do your posts on social media, kind of letting us know what's coming, because it just adds to the momentum. And the fact that Nitro Chaos and Funny Car Chaos are going to start at the same event, and that we get a chance to get off and running with a spectacular event in both series, man, you can't imagine how good that's going to be. So if you hadn't already planned to be there, it's Ennis, Texas, April 4, 5, 6. Man, I want to see all of you there. Thanks for tuning in tonight for another great time talking about drag racing, talking about all things chaos. And, we really appreciate you. We talk about it all the time, how much it means to have fun with people that you care about. And we definitely do. So thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you on our next Chaos show. And we will get that announced just as soon as we have the date finalized. But very shortly, we'll be racing, and there will be regular Chaos Lives that will be just like clockwork. From all of us to all of you, have a blessed week. We'll see you at the drags. Good night, everybody.
Spell Paving Services provides professional customer service and performance for your next industrial or large-scale private paving project. From parking lots, roads, and driveways to seal coat, chip seal, concrete, and asphalt, there's no job too big for the team at Spell Paving Services. Serving a 500-mile radius from Dallas-Fort Worth, Spell Paving Services has you covered. Call 214-384-3056 to get a competitive quote today and tell them the Chaos sent you.